So fun. The technology. Oh my goodness. It's amazing. So I am so excited to be sitting here with my friend Leisa. The only thing better is if we were hanging back out in Palm Springs, because that was a blast. Oh my goodness. Whole other story. So I talk a lot about unicorns. I'm a huge fan of unicorns. I think mainly because I got the pink hair. God just made me different. And my greatest desire is to really empower women to grow into that unicorn that God made them to be. And here we are in this space that tends to want to cookie cutter everybody. And I think you are the epitome of unicorn, doing it differently, and yet showing up like a boss without sacrificing everything, without sacrificing your family. You're like, you meet you for a second, and I walked away from our time in Palm Springs and I was like, oh my goodness, this girl's a mama. Like, you love your family. So anyways, would you just take a sec, Lise, and introduce yourself?
Yes. Oh my gosh, I love you. I'm actually going to Palm Desert today, and I wish I could see you, and I miss you so dang much, but this is going to have to do until I can hug you in Cabo in like 2 weeks.
Yes.
I can't wait. Okay, so my name's Leisa Cutler. I'm a registered nurse by trade, mom of 4. I'm a military wife, originally from Canada, moved to the United States, and I've been just like following my adorable husband from state to state to state. So I think that it gets tough, like when you have that many kids and you're trying to work as a nurse and you're working night shift and trying to be everything. And so when I heard this concept of like working from home and the income that you can make, I was like immediately drawn to it because I'm just a driven person. I'm hardworking, and I thought, heck, if like these girls can do it, I could totally do this. So I've been in network marketing 8.5 years, with our previous company for 6.5 years. Recently, this month, I walked away from it 2 years ago, and it was literally the best decision I've ever made. So happy I found this, and I found you.
I know. And if I think back, we met in a sales training conference, something or other, whatever it was called. I don't even know how to but anyways, it was awesome. And what I love is I met some amazing women in there, you being one of them. So what struck me is at the time I actually took this sales training, there were several women that went from the top 1% of a company that we were at and made this massive pivot. And it blew my mind because in my mind, you had reached the pinnacle of it all. Like, everything's great. So I'm sure that you get this question all the time, but I'm really curious to hear, and I know that other people watching are also curious to know, like, okay, so what is it that grabbed your attention from a traditional, I can say we were in a very traditional network marketing structured company, to social retail? What grabbed your attention?
What grabbed my attention was really just this whole unique way and natural way of doing business. And I realized quickly over a 2-year time span that the traditional model was totally flawed. And so when I met my dear friend, Justin, he started explaining this new concept that they came up with. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like what's flawed about where we were and the traditional system is that the 80 to 90% of people who are not strong recruiters, who just want to share the customer side, just want to share the products that they fell in love with, are just not recognized, they're not celebrated, and they're not rewarded in a way that encourages them to really build and stick with it. And so this unique concept of like, I share a code with someone, they immediately get $10 off, and I don't have to have awkward conversations like, hey, like, this VIP program is like a Sam's Club membership. Like, you pay this $25 fee. Like, it was just so completely natural. And the fact that then your customers can share a code with their customers and you're rewarded sort of like a never ending referral program just made so much more sense to me.
Yeah, absolutely. I know. It's like mind blowing. In fact, before I ever heard of it, I had heard about it months before, like I said, with you guys. And I was like, okay, well, they're all the same. They're
Yeah.
just, it's just like a different jacket. Like it's all the same, and then it's just slightly different. So yeah, completely transforming. Where do you see, so right now I kind of see like there's this chasm, like there's this network marketing that's still going, and it'll probably still always be there, but how do you see things changing the landscape of the traditional avenue versus this social retail? Like where do you see it going and making this massive like right turn from everything else that's out there?
Honestly, you're probably right. Like there are going to be traditional network marketing and direct sales companies that are able to stay relevant and stay in this space if they can kind of keep up with technology, reinvent themselves, stay on top of innovation. But truly, I think like any business going forward, any up and coming companies that come about are really going to have to go in the direction that we're going. Like we're really pioneering an entirely new way of doing business, and we're like the first of its kind with this massive product line. And I think, you know, the Amways and the Melaleucas that have the broad product portfolios, those businesses are going to stay really relevant, but we're sort of the modern day version of that. And I think I truly think that this code sharing and this gig economy that we can keep up with because we pay the same day, like, you know, Rover and Uber and DoorDash, like that's what people are looking for. And so if they want to stay relevant with like the millennials and the same day gig economy pay, they're gonna have to pivot and go in this direction.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so in your experience, what do you see as the biggest obstacle keeping women in particular achieving the success that they're looking for, just across the board? I mean, I feel like a lot of times they're just unwilling to make that change. It's hard. But what do you see with the women that because you have thousands on your team and thousands of conversations that you've had, what do you see as their biggest obstacle?
You know, I think initially it comes down to belief. Like they just aren't sure that they're going to be able to do it. Either they've tried it in the past in the traditional model and they failed because they weren't good at recruiting or they weren't comfortable recruiting. So I think it comes down to belief first. And then I think really the second thing is consistency. Like people get kind of like excited about something, and then if they don't see the results immediately, they're like, this doesn't work for me. So I think it's that consistency. Like you really have to be in it for the long game and know that like if you believe and work on that self-belief and work on like personal development and stay consistent, like those are the two things that are going to make or break your success.
Yeah, yeah. Wouldn't you say that what you're seeing over here is, I don't know, my dog is really excited about all of this. Wouldn't you say, I think the thing that's hit me the most is how there are so many who have been, have a bad taste in their mouth from a traditional network marketing structure because of all of those things. It didn't work. So they're ready to like throw in the towel. Like, I'm not going to do this again because I was in the same space. But then I'm seeing over and over and over again those exact people who didn't find success before. They didn't hit the top 2%. They didn't hit the top 1%, but they're winning with
Yeah,
this structure. It's so exciting.
they are. They are. And they are because they maybe have that belief and they think that they can take a chance on something, and then they come over here and they test it out and they see how marketable our products are and how easy the system is and how we give them the tools on social media and how they don't have to know everything. And so if those people kind of dive in and tiptoe in and start with the products and see our co-sharing and the referral program, that builds that confidence in them, and they're able to kind of, well, I think I can help other people do this. Like, this wasn't that hard. And then that belief is slowly built over time. And the people that didn't succeed before come over here and they have that confidence, they have that belief, they start being consistent, and then they're like, holy crap. And then they just take off. And they start realizing this is the potential I had but I was in the wrong car. I was in the wrong vehicle.
Yep, totally. Okay, my friend, we could talk for hours and hours on this.
Good.
Thank you so much. Have a great time in Palm Springs. And if you're listening to this, whether it's the replay or live and something hits you, reach out to one of us because we would love to absolutely tell you how this is something where you truly could succeed, even if you haven't had success in the past. So, okay.
I love
Happy
it.
Thursday.
I love you.
Love you. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, did I end it?
I love technology.
I'm like, am I ending this? I don't even know. Nope, I think we're still live. So this is the bonus footage, people. You're so welcome. Yeah, let's just